All right, check this story out. Negligent cop failed. Negligent cops failed to protect the public. 911 dispatch sued by family over daughter's death. Let's get to it.
More than disturbing. Imagine you have been shot. You knock on somebody's door. They call 911, and you still bleed out for over an hour and die. That's exactly what happened. Let's put up the picture of this young woman
Right here.
who should be alive right now. A Michigan mother has filed a lawsuit against the Saginaw County Central Dispatch and one of the supervisors, alleging they were in fact negligent and thereby contributed to the death of her daughter. Daughter was shot. Let me give you a little background. On the morning of July 5th, 2021, police found 20-year-old Inala Wallace suffering from several wounds on a porch on the 1800 block of Burnham Street. Okay? What did she do? She knocked on the door. After knocking on the door of the Burnham home, a man opened fire and shot her 5 times. As Inala wailed out loudly, the gunman fled the scene. She got to a neighboring house and banged on the door, hoping someone would hear her. One woman did. One woman heard her. Called the police, called 911. 911, we need help. County Central Dispatch Supervisor Logan Bissell was the one that took the call. Put up Logan. Took the call. All right? Not only a dispatcher, supervisor took the call. So this person received a call, a 911 emergency call, about the shooting at 4:26 in the morning. The caller was a female resident living next to the house where Inala was shot. The woman told the dispatcher she heard the gunshots and reported Inala was pounding on her door asking for assistance. The supervisor asked the woman 3 times if she was certain that Inala had been shot and then told her police were on the way. This was untrue, according to the complaint. At the time, no officers, none, were en route to the residence. According to the lawsuit, 3 other women were also shot around the same time as Inala, but because Bissell erroneously coded the call as shots fired, the young lady was not tended to quickly. The code did not prioritize the shooting and did not suggest to the other dispatchers, police, or emergency responders that the young woman had been shot. This dispatcher, supervisor, failed to use the proper code to express the urgency of the call. Allegedly, dispatch and the police department have an off-the-record understanding of victimless crimes and treat them as low priority. That's off the books. It's not in the policy, but it's in the culture. Okay? The complaint states Bissell knew this, and by the circumstance of his actions, that person, the supervisor, is in fact responsible for the delayed emergency response to the young lady. I completely concur. Now, I want to remind everyone, it does not require mens rea, meaning formulation of a criminal thought. It does not require you to be malicious or intentional, but you can be grossly negligent, and it is in fact criminal. It led to the death of this young lady. The negligence of this supervisor led to the death of another human being. Police kill a 13-year-old child.
Here's another story.
And they wait 5 days to even inform the mother. Let's
5
put up
days?
a picture of the 13-year-old they
Check
killed.
this out.
He's dead. He should be alive. 13-year-old Andre A.J. Hernandez Jr. Let's keep his picture up. Police alleged that AJ intentionally slammed a stolen car into one of their police vehicles. An officer said he was in fear of his life, and so he decided to shoot into the car indiscriminately as it was a...
Oh my God. Here we go again with another protocol of cops saying, oh, I was feared for my life and safety. How many times have I heard the countless like that? Oh, I was feared for my life and safety for an unarmed person. Come on.
Attempting to flee. The car was literally trying to leave. He shoots into the vehicle. AJ was shot. After he was shot, AJ, the 13-year-old child, stepped out of the vehicle to surrender.
You hear that?
He was then taken to the hospital where he later died. Let's put up a picture of his mother. Okay?
Here's the
Her
mother.
name is Linda. Linda first heard about her son's killing by piecing together articles about a local police shooting at a teenager. That's how she figured it out. Nobody informed her. And this is the second tragedy to befall the family, because just 2 weeks earlier, Lisa had laid to rest her 16-year-old daughter, who was found shot to death in a stolen car near the family's home.
Oh, God.
Tragedy on top of tragedy. The police finally called on Tuesday evening after NBC News contacted them, and she appeared on local news. That's when the police got in touch with her. Okay? Now let me say this, because I know there are some who will push back and say, well, the 13-year-old was committing a criminal act and he should have simply not been in a stolen car. You have to remember something. We have due process in this country for a reason. This is a juvenile. As a juvenile delinquent myself.
And here's another thing as well. We live in the United States of America where you are presumed innocent until guilty. And we have the thing called, in the court of law, where you're being in trial, called due process.
I was in stolen cars. I ran from the police. This 13-year-old is dead. Just because you may deserve to see a judge does not mean it's time for you to see your maker. This 13-year-old is dead. And according to the narrative, not only should he be alive, there was no reason for the officer to shoot and kill this child inside of the vehicle. There's more.
You know, and another thing I think as well, too. Yeah, this 13-year-old, maybe he should go on a juvie, probably, you know, spend maybe a couple months, maybe a year for, you know, in a stolen car, for a little joyride. I think it's stupid as hell. You get the cops say fear for his life, and he wants his kid to make his maker over a freaking stolen car that he can face the judge, get a little time up in juvie, you know, and get reformed as well as instead, you know, these cops, and you got the cops saying, well, I fear my life. Oh, then you got these cops out there, especially the proponents of the, you know, oh, we're going back to only blue lives matter. They're sitting there, you know, they're going to sit there saying, well, this kid should have been stolen a car. Oh, he should have obeyed his commands. No, you got cops out there that sit there simply cop-splaining and deflecting. That's what they do.
I really don't understand why the police are hiding. My son was 13 years old. That's the key. He was a little boy and did not deserve to get shot and killed by the police officer.
And the fact it took them 5 days. 5.
Remember, there was no real threat to the cop.
Dos,
The police
tres,
told her they would
cuatro,
allow her to
cinco,
view partial
5.
police body camera video of the encounter Monday morning. She said, I don't know what I'm supposed to do when I see it, but I want to see why they shot my son. She said the hospital informed her that her son had been shot, but that she was given only minimal time to view him before he was put in a body bag and taken away. She still has not received any medical reports or paperwork. Let's put up a picture of the San Antonio Police Department Captain Jesse Salami, who spoke on the incident. Officers were responding to gunfire, according to him, in the area when they spotted a red car matching the description of the vehicle. when police approached the car driven by the 13-year-old. It reversed. It struck a patrol car, according to the captain. The officer has not been identified. They refused to release the information of the cop. So here's the police chief. His name is Bill McManus.
Here's the
Police
chief.
said the officer involved has been placed on administrative leave until further notice. No officers or passengers were injured. The police department, they have decided not to publicly identify the victim as AJ due to him being a minor. But Wednesday morning, they said the suspect's mother has been contacted. We have independently verified that it is, in fact, obviously AJ. A lot of twists and turns here. The bottom line is AJ should be alive. AJ should be alive. This is not a conversation or argument about police and arrest. This is about, should we have a police force that's so trigger happy that they are willing to pull the trigger, kill an individual, and allow absolutely no reasonable process, no reasonable reaction time for the person they shoot.
Yeah. And I think it's really messed up. You got cops out there that want to play judge, jury, and executioner because they think they got the most talent, because they think they're above the law with fucked up qualifying diplomatic immunity. With that said, I'm out of here, Mike Joe. Peace out.